somebody like Josh back there, who's one of my key staff members, he's spent enough time with me to probably tell you why that would give me, what gives me what my credentials would be to give that, but it's not something that you see in a degree. I have all the degrees and all that stuff, but that's not what gives me the ability to stand up here and explain to somebody how to live a successful life. It's because of what I learned while taking care of cancer patients and how it's evolved and what I've gone through personally, and I've lived this myself. And what's amazing is many of these things are taught to us. I mean, I remember my father encouraging me to read W. Clement Stone and Napoleon Hill and Andrew Carnegie. Many of those principles were actually there. It took that refinement of understanding and living through it and then realizing and modernizing it. And actually the whole conference is taking quantum physics and energy medicine and applying quantum physics and energy medicine to this very aspect. And I can tell you, it's the most exciting thing for me personally. Why do you think somebody like me would want to teach this? Can anybody tell me, why do you think that I would want to teach this? I'll ask you guys all. And whoever gets this right, you get something tonight. A DVD. Okay?
We're comprised of all these components. And the physical component of like a heavy metal is affecting the emotional, psychological, is affecting the spiritual. You can't separate them. That's why I think you would.
Well, you're absolutely right what you said, but that's not the reason that I want to teach this, although that's a very valid reason. But I'm going to actually just pass it around because I want everybody to take a shot at this. You can't, there's no wrong answer, right?
Oh, I was just going to say, because you took a Hippocratic oath to heal, and if you figure out that the main core issue that's going to affect healing is this thing, then that would be the place for you to go become a doctor, so to speak. I mean, well, if your success is based on helping with this issue, then
you're absolutely right. That's a very logical reason, and maybe one of the reasons, but that's not the real reason that I do it. But you're right. I mean, none of these are going to be wrong answers. Okay?
Your turn.
You don't want to take a chance at something? I mean,
because it feels good.
That's getting closer. It feels good.
I don't need a microphone.
Okay. Because it works, because it feels good. Every one of these things is true. Because it works, it feels good. You want to help people. Why don't you pass it? Yeah. The reason we want to get it in mic is since we're recording it, that way everybody else kind of hears what you guys said.
I think you're anointed to do this.
Well, that's, see, it's very interesting. You guys are hitting on some very, I mean, I do believe that. I do believe that. But there's one other reason. You want to take a shot at it? Because you started to say something and I don't.
I was just going to say maybe that you went through it yourself and overcame it and learned from your own experience and wanted to share that with others because you physically and emotionally went through it first.
And that's a true statement too. Everything that you guys have said is true. Every single one of you. You said because it feels good. You said because I was appointed to do this, because of the relationship between heavy metals and the energetics that you talked about, because I've gone through it myself, because I took the Hippocratic Oath. You're all right. But do you know the real reason? I mean, these are all reasons. They all are part of it. But the real reason is because when you teach, it forces you to pick up your game and make it better. And because I've gotten to that point now, my goal is to get to the next level. And I have to teach to make sure that my game is on. Because you can't teach something truly and get it across to people. Because if I can make you understand this, then I know that I have gotten to the level that I need to be at, or that I'm now ready for the next level. Because I do this for a selfish reason, okay? Now, we're going to talk about this in energetic medicine. We're going to talk about this in a moment. But I do this for a selfish reason. So if I don't address the selfish reason I'm doing it, and believe me, it's a very selfish reason, okay? I've had people sit in the audience. I've talked in front of, I think this is about the smallest crowd I've talked to, 5 people. But you know, I've talked in front of like 2,000 people before. And I can tell you that it is always a selfish reason. And people will tell me, oh, you're just saying that. I know you too well. It's never, there's not a selfish bone in your body. But it is a selfish reason. And I'll explain it to you and you'll understand why. So we'll skip to the sixth toxicity and the 7th toxicity really quick so we can come back to the energetic. So the 5th one is emotional psychological one.